I'm gonna show you how I make those marinated onions, which you guys have been seeing in all of the meals that I've been eating pretty much every day for a while. They are so good. I can't think of anything that they don't make the dish more delicious. It's great because it's a twofer. The onions are really yummy and so is the oil that they're marinated in. This recipe is extremely heavily inspired by Terry from No Crumbs Left, who is one of my favorite follows on Instagram. She has the best recipes. I love her cookbook and she's an absolute sweetheart. First, you're going to need one of these marinated onion bowls. Terry from No Crumbs Left hand makes these pottery bowls that are specifically designed for marinated onions. The opening is the perfect size for the onions. And she thought of everything. It has this little handle right here so you can hold it and a pour spout so you can really easily pour the marinade that the onions are in. You need this bowl. I'll do a link to her store. Very necessary to make the onions. You're gonna need one medium red onion. I've already cut the top off and peeled out the outer skin. I have my mandolin here and I cut them a little bit less than a 1/4 inch thick. And the mandolin makes it so easy to get even slices. Just be really careful because your mandolin is sharp. You do not wanna go too fast and cut your finger. So they're all cut and you can see you want them about this thick. So then in the marinated onion bowl, you'll add in all the onions and they will fit in perfectly right to the top. Look how perfect that is. I love this bowl. Now we're gonna make the marinade for the onions. You just need 4 ingredients. I have olive oil, red wine vinegar, dried oregano, and salt. My recipe is a little bit different than Terry's, and I even reached out to her before I even shared this, being like, your recipe is so world famous, but I've tweaked it a little bit. Is it okay if I share my method? And she's like, of course. She's so kind. So I do add a little bit more red wine vinegar than she adds, mostly because I love a really bright taste to it, and it makes it perfect when I use it as a salad dressing because I like a lot of vinegar. So for mine, so you'll add in the olive oil in the measuring cup, then the red wine, this is just the Costco olive oil, and then this red wine vinegar, this is just the Trader Joe's brand. So we'll add in the red wine vinegar. Then you need a whole tablespoon of dried oregano, and it works best with dried oregano. I've tried it with dried and fresh oregano. I like dried better. And then last is a teaspoon of salt. Now you'll just stir all of this together to get it nice and combined. Now that it's done, you just pour it right on top of all of the onions, and you'll see the measurements are the perfect amount for this bowl. And it covers the onions right to the top. You wanna make sure that the onions are covered so that way they're marinating. If they're not covered, they're obviously not gonna get the flavor. So now that this is in here, you wanna let it sit on your counter for at least 12 hours or up to, I mean, I've gone up to like 4 or 5 days. So I'll be back to show you in the morning how they turned out. Here they are the next day, and they are so perfect. You can see how the onions have softened, and they are just bursting with flavor. These are amazing on everything.